NBA.com, San Francisco Bay Area to host NBA All-Star 2025. That's official. And then, right off of that, from ESPN, Adam Silver, I'll take responsibility for All-Star game lacking effort. Okay, so San Fran getting 2025 All-Star weekend, and then Silver saying he's going to take some responsibility here for what's been going on with these lackluster All-Star games. Is this news?
Yeah, that's news. We know where we're going in 2025. We're going to the Bay, baby. Should be good.
Yeah.
Haven't been to the arena yet. Spent a lot of time in San Francisco for NBA-related events over the past decade with the Warriors going to the finals time and time again. Fun city, big city, going to be very crowded for All-Star Weekend, a high-density city. So, yeah, I'm excited to see the new arena. And, I guess at that point, Steph Curry will be getting even closer to the end of his career there in the Bay. So a nice way to, not saying he's going to retire after 2025, but it's cool for him to get to host an All-Star game as one of the faces of the league.
Yeah, and then this second headline, I think, is one where we can really unpack here. So Silver said Monday he will take responsibility for the lack of intensity apparent in recent NBA All-Star games, a realization he came to after speaking with Chris Paul, okay? Because Chris Paul recently pointed out to Silver that all of the pregame and halftime distractions, the hoopla, of the All-Star game are interfering with the players' normal game day routines. So Silver is taking some of the responsibility, taking some of the blame, saying, we're sending mixed signals, right? We want these guys to treat this like a real game, and have some intensity, not finals intensity, but some real game intensity. But then we have all this other stuff going on, and it's mixed messaging. What do you think about this? Do you think this is fair? Do you think this is silly? Who is to really blame for these shitty All-Star games?
Well, my advice to Adam Silver would be, you're not a piece of space-age titanium, so don't be so hard on yourself. This is not Adam Silver's fault. This is an excuse from the players. When I think back to the most distracting halftime at any All-Star game ever, it's Mariah Carey at the 2003 All-Star game, which was Michael Jordan's final All-Star game, which was a classic. It went to double overtime, Skeets.
Right.
I mean, this was a big-time game, one of the best of all time, and had a monster celebration at halftime and before the game. You go back to recent memory, the best All-Star game we've had in the past couple of years, definitely 2020 in Chicago. That was when Common was doing his rhyming introductions.
Yeah, right.
Chance the Rapper performed at halftime. The thing that I took away from this, there's a quote from Chris Mullin at the end of Mark Spears' story there where he says, Mullin said the key for those All-Star games being competitive in the 90s was having two NBA superstars in Magic Johnson and Larry Bird taking the charge. The top guys have to set the standard like it's Bird and Magic, Mullin told Anscape. That's it. That's all it comes down to.
Yep.
Do the top guys that are playing out there care to give us a good game? If they do, we'll get a good game. They cared in 2020. It was just after Kobe Bryant had passed away. That was a guy who took All-Star games seriously. They did the Kobe-inspired Elam ending for that game, and players gave it their all out there. So I think if there is a commitment from everybody to make this a success, it will be a success. It doesn't come down to, are they taking longer for introductions? Do they have a halftime act that's exciting to watch? That stuff does not matter. It matters if you care to put on a good game.
So you don't think if back in the 90s, I don't know, Fresh Prince and DJ Jazzy Jeff were giving us a 20-minute set at halftime, that would have changed how Magic and Larry looked at the game and it would have affected their intensity? No?
I don't think so. I think there's been performances for a long time, and there used to be good All-Star games.
Yeah. I guess on one hand, I get the idea of, like, we can scale back a little bit. We don't have to pretend this is the Super Bowl. It doesn't need to be that nuts. But sure, you are still trying to sell the game and get people tuning in, and sometimes that takes a musical artist or something fun at halftime, celebrating a legend or something like that, in the case of MJ with Mariah Carey. But, yeah, this is an insane excuse. And like this idea, like, hey, we're just looking for a basketball game. So now we're going, get rid of the Elam ending and, get rid of the draft. Like, let's just play basketball. Okay, just play hard.
Yes.
I really don't think it has to do, with their schedule being all out of whack for them to go, a little competitive in the final 6 minutes of an All-Star game. I don't think it had to do with a longer build up to the start of the game or a longer halftime. This is weird.
We're out of our routines.
Come on. But hey, okay, well then there's no excuse then this year, it sounds like. I mean, I don't know what they're going to do, but it sounds like it's going to be a little more normal, like a real basketball game. So they should play hard.
They should play hard.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and honestly, we're not even asking for 12 minutes.
No, that's the
effort
nuts
in the
part.
fourth quarter. Like you're saying, we need about 6 minutes. Like, keep it close. Don't get blown out either side through 3 quarters so that we have a chance at something exciting possibly happening at the end of the game. I also think that, like, I can't imagine people are tuning in for the halftime acts. So from one perspective, I'm like, nobody's tuning in to see Chance the Rapper. Oh, Chance the Rapper's performing at halftime of the All-Star game? That's not a draw, so makes some sense here. I also love that anytime there is something that's not going well for the NBA, they just send Joe Dumars out there. He's like the dad of the NBA. They're like, you got to have an 82-game mindset. All that resting, that doesn't actually work. I did the math on it.
Right.
You got to do your best out there. You don't have to play hard all the time, but you got to give some effort. My dad used to give me more money on my report card for our efforts. You know, you would get a grade, an A through F grade, but then you would also get an effort from your teacher. I got paid much more for the efforts. And that's what it sounds like we're getting here from Joe Dad Dumars.
This really does sum up how much of a player's commissioner Adam Silver is.
Yeah.
When he's going to this extent saying, you know what? This is my fault. I'm to blame for this. You know, Chris Paul and the guys are saying, oh, their schedule's crazy, man, when it comes to the All-Star game. I overdid it. I thought everybody wanted to see Chance the Rapper, you know? My bad. You're going too far, in my opinion, but let's just, I guess, this is a classic wait and see here. In Indianapolis in 2024, come February, you know, okay. It's back to basketball. So let's see if we get a good game.
I got a couple of questions for you, Skeets. One I'm seeing here from Chandler in the stream team who says, Taylor Swift for halftime? I think if Taylor Swift said, I want to perform at halftime of the All-Star game, the NBA would be like, actually, we are going to do all that stuff.
Yes.
We're going to have a very long halftime because people would absolutely tune in for that.
Yeah, good point.
And number 2, Skeets, I got to connect 5 for you.
Okay.
Here are your 5 players to connect.
All right.
Ricky Davis, Steve Francis, Larry Hughes, Tracy McGrady, Jerry Stackhouse.
I think I know. I believe these are all dunk contestants in the 2000 dunk contest in Oakland, the one that Vince Carter obviously put a show on.
That's exactly right. The 25-year anniversary of the 2000 dunk contest will be the 2025 All-Star Game, hosted by the Warriors once upon a time. So I'm saying we got 2 years to get the dunk contest
Completely back
to complete success mode.
Okay.
I love it.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, just bring Vince Carter back. Have him dunk.
Yeah, sure.
How old will he be at the point?
I mean, at least let him be a judge. He's got to be a judge for that one.
Yeah. Okay, I love it.